Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? I still can't hear you, kids. Hello, everybody. This is KN from SonicSong182, and I am here today with my buddy Skull902, who does the voice of Big the Cat on the channel. Oh, can you say that again, Skull?
Froggy!
Yes, you see, proof! Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We did give out the link a little bit early so everybody could file in a little bit early. But we're still gonna give you guys a chance to come in before we say the hellos, and Skull, you can help me do the hellos today. Do you know how to get to the participants list?
Okay, starting off with Weege. Hello, Weege.
Hi, Weege.
The Ouija Prower.
Oh, right. GGD says, is that big? Yes, that is big.
This is most certainly big.
Yes, yes. Da, 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 da.
Alright, up in the lineup here we've got...
I haven't slept enough just to warn everybody, so I'm slightly sleep deprived today. Excellent.
Which is always
asked who else is hyped for Big's Big Fishing Adventure 3. It's sure to be an adventure!
Hello, Blue Magic, I see you tagged me.
Hello, 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 hello. Well, we don't want to take super long. We will wait maybe just another 30 seconds and then we'll get going in earnest. I know we take forever to like get started. Oh my gosh, the vacuum cleaner!
Alright, Omar Sadler, I believe it was, says, how am I doing? I'm doing absolutely fine. How are you? Let's see here. Hello, Swiftclaw, Jazzy, Toby, hello. Let's see, Holly Denvers. Oh my, this is going fast.
Well, don't worry, Skull, once we... Alright, now we're at the 2-minute mark, so we'll go ahead and get started in earnest. What you need to do, Skull, is, you see the 3 dots next to the gear by the live chat? Like up on the top?
Yes.
If you click on that, and you go into participants, you can see a whole list of names, or at least everybody that YouTube Live has registered as being here. And we can read the list that way, so, cause yeah, I used to just read it in the chat, and it was going by so fast, and then I was repeating names, like, all the time. By the way, Jazz Hay said, Skull is finally live! This needed to happen for a long time! Yay!
Yeah, it's been what, since Sonic Song returned, what, 14 months?
Yeah,
I asked, like, after the 3rd stream, and finally, 55 streams later...
Hooray! Is it 55? I think it's more. It's 58! Oh my goodness. I clicked on the stream area.
You know.
It was a little... Oh, it's 58 streams later. Oh wait, no, because you're subtracting. I am thinking with my brain.
It's okay, you said it yourself, you had lack of sleep.
Yep, lack of sleep, and I have a gigantic coffee to keep going. Woohoo! Make sure you get enough sleep, everybody.
Alrighty, so names?
Yep, let's go into the naming area, and let's see, one way we can do it is we can do just a line of names, like do all the A's and then switch to me, and then if it's like a short category, just keep going a little bit longer and do like B and C or something. So, just like that.
Alright, so,
do you want to do it in character, Skull?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to do it in character? It'll be beautiful. Most people do.
Alright. I'll do a few. At least a few in character.
Who should I do? I guess I have a selection. Who does Big want to hang out with today?
Let's see. I guess Rouge seems to be like your standard.
Alright, I'll do that one, because I think the one that they don't usually hear me do is Bokun, but nobody wants me to scream into the microphone, hello, as Bokun.
Alright, so, okay, to begin, alright. We've got Loki Nini, the Fun Factory, Mason Wind of the Fairy Tale, Adrian Orda, Ahmed Hunter, AJ Cool Kid 2, Alice Bricks, Alley Cat 98, Armbar the Speeding Miraculous Wolf, that's a long name, Anthony Cornell, Anything Goes Productions, Ashley the Hedgehog.
Thank you very much, Big. Let's see, the next ones are Black Red Scared Wolf 113, Blazing Rose Ninja, Blue Magic, Bluey Cat, Bob Griffin, Box the Hedgehog, Briseda Martinez, Buddy the Wolf, and we're on to the C's.
Chivez Salisbury, Chloe V 97, Corbin Ball, D-Mast, Denali Saragaki, Deneen Hawkins, Destiny the Duskwolf, DJ Kokukus.
You can do it, Big! You can do it! You gotta believe!
Oh, goodness. DJ Kokus. There, I did it!
Yay!
And Dominic the Wolf, too.
Next up is Edric Stuff, Excellent Boy, Electro the Hedgehog, Enrique Martinez, Falcon Girl, Phoenix Espinal, Fire Ninja and Sonic the Hedgehog, Flowbro, FRMFF28, Fun John, and then the G's.
Galaxy Kitten, Gamer Bless Bro, Giselle Cisneros, I guess, Holly Denvers. You wanna do more?
I can hop in. Tagging in, Incineroar the Lord, Isabella33, Jack Colep, Jason366 Guerrero, Jose Salas, KJ, Kirby Reborn, Quaggin, Little Miss Deadly 24/Papyrus, Luna Turner, YouTube Trashbin, Mario Master Bros, Maxella Fluffyfoot, MC Gemstone, Memsley Mem, Miku Hatsune. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of M's. Miles Tails Prower, Minded Up the Sup, Miriam Aka, Miss Player 30, Mr. Rain Botnick, My Little Twinkie Dash, Maya Haydell, Mythic Pokemon Fan, and we're at the N.
We've got Natalie the Wolf, Nicole Cholog, I think, PC Schnun.
Hello, Schnun. You're doing great, Big Honey.
Okay, thank you. Peridot, Phantom 7620, Pokemon Fan 101, Princess Pony, Purple Yeezys,
Good luck.
Raisa Dill, Real Luca, SNL, Sakura Blossom, Sassy BG, Shella Beans, Silver Legacy, Silver 180, Silvio Neris, SonicSong182, I wonder who that is.
Never
Spirit
heard of
the
it.
Hedgehog, SSB Goku, Super Gamer Goomba, Swiftclaw, and onto the T's.
Alright, really quick, I think Sonic Kid 06 just walked in, so hello. Then we've got Tech Swift, That Guy Husky Pyro Prince NFNS, The Gaming Gecko, Toby Tots, hello Toby, Toxic Fox, and Venice, Vicky Bactrich's Video Game Fan, and Big, you can finish off the rest.
Yay! Okay, Ouija Prower, Wonderful Stars, XX Kitten X, Z-Money, and Zach Wyatt are all here today on the stream. Yay!
Hooray! Alright, that was everybody we saw on the list at the time that we started it, so there we go. And hello again, everybody. This is KN from SonicSong182, and as you were just hearing, that was Skull902 is my buddy for the stream today. He is the voice actor of Big the Cat, so say hello, everybody.
Hey everyone, Skull902 here. I saw you, Lyrical Miracle 9608. Hello.
Hi. And Vicky, we do our best. We can barely pronounce our own names. All right.
I did.
And also, this was Skull's first time, and I've been mispronouncing your guys' names for a year now. Yay!
Oh boy.
Alright, by the way, everybody, I'm gonna be cleaning up some sketches that I need for, Ask the Sonic Heroes. So these are some of the sketches. I drew the basic line art out, but these aren't intended to be super fancy, nice pictures. They're supposed to be doodly, but this is like too doodly to be acceptable for the episode because the lines are all over each other. So I'm gonna clean these up, and that's what I'm gonna be working on for the stream today. But before we start, a couple of quick announcements. Ask the Sonic Heroes episode 25, the Christmas special, that is well on its way to being edited into completion. It will be out before Christmas. I am targeting having it ready to put out on like the 22nd, but it depends on a few factors if I can get it done by then. But it is on track and it's coming along well, and it's a good episode, and it's long. It's a one-part episode like it usually is, but this one's a little longer than the other ones were. Because yay, Christmas!
Thank you, Wham Slam Dax.
What did Wham Slam Dax say?
Said Big was, that I was, what was it? Skull902 is my favorite voice actor for Big the Cat, that's what he said.
Aw, yay. Also, Excellent Boy asked to Big, is mayonnaise an instrument?
Yeah, I'm not terribly good at improvising if you saw me running through the names, so I will try my best if you ask Big specifically a question, but try to keep it down a little bit, please.
Big is mayonnaise an instrument. You've got two schools of thought here. One, of course not, and two, how would you play mayonnaise?
Well...
You give that a quick thought, consider your response. In the meantime, I do have a couple more announcements, and we'll get back to you on the next nightly news. Alright, the other thing is, I do have a video that came out at midnight last night, so if you guys haven't seen that yet, that's the Silver and Shadow Go to Disneyland Star Wars video, and that one was a lot of fun to work on. Actually, Belena Productions, Steve and Rihanna, they are the ones who took me over there, and that was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. So, I thought it turned out really well, so I hope if you guys are interested in the plushie videos that you will go and have a look. Alright, about the mayonnaise. Well, I, for one, have never actually attempted to play mayonnaise. I suppose the way that I would, if I had to try, is I would use it as a drum. You think that's a good idea, Big?
Well, oh, sorry, I'm not doing the voice. Yeah, it's a great idea. You can use the cap, and you can drum on that. There you go.
Yeah, sounds good to me, and we'll use chopsticks to drum.
Well, of course.
We also have one more thing before we go ahead and get started with the drawing. I wanted to run by Skull902's channel over here real quick before we keep going. If you guys would like to and you have a chance, you should come and check him out. So this is him. That's youtube.com/user/Skull902. And he's got all kinds of neat stuff here. Some sprite videos. He's working on some Let's Plays and stuff. There's Uberduck.
I wish I could hear all of what's going on. You're cutting out, kind of.
I'm sorry if I'm cutting out. That is a shame. But I'm gonna pause the music for a second so I can show you guys a very quick clip here of something that's working on. This is called Shadow's Confusion. I won't show you the whole thing. If you're interested, you should check it out after the stream.
Just as a word of warning to perhaps the younger viewers out there, I do have a more, how should we say, mature sense of humor, slightly more. So I do swear on my channel. So if that's a sensitive sort of thing for you, then just keep that in mind.
Why'd you throw it out?
Yep.
Chocolate. What sane individual eats chocolate ice cream? I told you to get mint.
No, you didn't.
Traitor.
There we go. Good. Alright, just in case you guys couldn't hear Skull talking because the video was playing at that time, the good stuff, but there is swearing on the channel, and you'll want to keep an eye on that if you're particularly sensitive to that sort of thing. Please keep that in mind. Alright, anyway, I am going to go ahead and get started on the drawing because we are 14 minutes in and I haven't done a thing. Woo!
Let's see here. I think the music has something to do though with the cutting out. And
I will turn it down, but if it's playing from an outside source. It's like, it's on like a radio.
Okay, let's see. Meatball Pickle Taco, thank you for the subscription.
Here we go. Just real quick, here is the...
Let's see, Mato Burrito. You said, why are Big so cute, basically? Oh boy, I'm not doing a good job, but
because
let's see.
He's a good boy. That's why Big is so cute.
I'm nice, and I just try to live my life like that, yo.
Oh my goodness. If it's easier under pressure, you can always answer for Big, but not, like, in character. But you can give your perspective on what you think he might think about
Alright, and
things.
I just saw in the chat one of my good personal friends. Hello, Eli.
Hello, Eli!
She's, like, a really, really, really good artist, and has taught me a bunch of stuff over the last couple days about, like, the process of animation.
Ooh,
cool stuff.
Awesome. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is really interesting stuff.
Go.
Let's see, Miracle, just do what you feel is cool. Okay, I've got to... Okay, thank you, Omar, for subscribing to my channel. That's very appreciated.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Here we go. I'm drawing with a sketchier brush today because these aren't intended to be like really nice polished pictures like they would be like normally. Like these are just supposed to be like little sketchy doodly pictures to get a point across and Ask the Sonic Heroes. They're basically the equivalent of those horrible crayon drawings I used to do that I still love. I still actually do some of them in crayon, but for this one I felt like doing them as doodles since I needed to draw for the stream anyway. It sounded like fun. These are for Ask the Sonic Heroes. I do think it would be difficult to guess what the question answered is based on what these drawings are for, because they're kind of, as the characters elaborate on a question they were asked. So I don't know if you can guess what's going on when, like, you know, with this one, for example. But that's what I'm doing. They are demonstration pictures for Ask the Sonic Heroes. Here we go.
Kind of reminds me of the cutscene. Or well, there was a few with them in there, but like one specifically from Sonic Adventure 2. If I could remember any of the lines, I would try and do that because I actually can do more voices than Dig. So.
You should show some examples. Even
like,
if you need to like go
okay,
look up lines, like you can just look up something.
Let me try and think of something that applies to this situation. Let's see. Again, I'm not very good at improvising, but
It's
oh boy.
always a little bit harder when it's directly live. Here we go.
Alright, let's see if this works out. Just to think, Maria, there are tacos down there.
I know, but we're not allowed to have them.
That's so sad.
My grandfather says that we're not allowed to have Earth food. We have to eat our packets of powdered toast. We live quite a life up here.
If I were in charge, I'd get rid of these packets. But as it stands, I'm hungry.
Shadow, you're spilling packet all over the place. The dried toast is going to waste.
I eat how I please.
Shadow's going through his rebellious stage.
There you go.
There, headcanon Shadow went through the terrible twos.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see, My Little Twinkie Dash, and someone else, I'm sorry I didn't notice, says that I have a good Shadow voice, so thank you. Thank you very much. Also, Ashley the Hedgehog says the same thing, thank you.
Skull has a series that he has worked on called Sonic and Mario, and he does lots of voices in there. I have done some voices for that one too. But so he can do more Sonic voices, he does some Mario voices.
You're cutting out pretty bad, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's, yes, that is the life of my streaming equipment. I was just saying that you do Mario voices too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do Mario impressions. I'll get to that just a second. Bob Griffin says, Skull, can I join SonicSong182 Heroes Ask Questions? Like, I mean, the team doesn't really need a character that needs a...
currently hiring or recruiting at this time. If you meant about getting questions on the show, we don't have a questions block open right now, but we did just a week ago for the Sonic Shadow and Silver one. So if you meant that one, you just gotta keep an eye open for the questions block. When the video is open, it shows up in your subscriptions feed if you are subscribed. And then just ask a question and then hope you get into the lottery that puts your question in there. But in terms of cast and crew, we're not really looking at the moment, but thank you for your interest.
Yeah, so that's basically that, but you were saying I do Mario voices?
Yes.
Okay, I don't practice them a lot anymore, but let's see here. Let's see if I can try to get something going. All right. So obviously, I have voiced Mario in my own videos. And I also voice his brother Luigi, because if there's one thing about the Mario franchise, it should be that Mario and Luigi are voiced by the same person. Unless if the same person can't do very convincing different voices. Oh well.
Is that true of the actual voice actor who does the official Mario and Luigi voices? Is it the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the same guy, Charles Martinet. He also voices like the baby versions of Mario and Luigi, and Wario and Waluigi. He does a bunch of different voices for the series.
Nice. He's like their Mel Blanc.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Let's see here, and it isn't really an impression of any official voice, but the one that I use for Bowser is just like a little comedic, deep voice. You know, he just sounds like this. I'll say something. When my friends and I play the Paper Mario games, and Bowser gets really immature during that, doing this voice and saying extremely immature things is really, really funny. Nice.
In a way, I sort of miss back in the day when video game characters didn't have voices, because it meant that you and your friends had to like sit there and, you know, you could read it out loud and make up your own voices, and there's something nostalgic about that to me. Even though I can see why games moved in the direction of having their own voice actors, but even so, it's just I remember that fondly, especially with games like Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, it was FF9 where I had a lot of fun with that in particular because the characters were so strange and interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't really playing video games around the time that they didn't have voices. I mean, like my first.
That shows my age maybe a little bit. Back in my day, video game characters didn't have voices, and when they did, they couldn't act. Because they were just getting like Jim from the sound booth, like, hey, can you voice this main character, please? And they're like, okay. So no one in the game could act.
That's the complete story of Bubsy 3D's voice acting, even though Bubsy was voiced by a professional actor.
Oh no.
Let's see,
I'm not actually sure if I've ever drawn Maria, like, as a human before. This might be a first.
I seem to recall something, but that could be entirely wrong.
Back in Shadow and the 13 Ghosts, I had a printed cutout of her before the Hedgehog version of Maria showed up in the series.
Oh my goodness, I remember that.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of, I don't know. But yeah, I had this paper cutout with like a ghost tail drawn on the bottom half of it because I couldn't find like a full like picture of her whole body.
No, like, I would definitely recognize your style and, like, separate it, because that was, like, a Sonic X promotional art.
That was definitely just, like, an image from Sonic X. I might have drawn her before, I just don't really remember it. It's certainly not something I draw often.
Yeah, it's like, it's a very fuzzy thing, but I do seem to remember seeing human Maria Robotnik in your style. Hashtag Lost Media.
Lost Media. I'm also not entirely I had a reference earlier, but I'm not exactly sure what her outfit looked like. I might have made a mistake, but I'm not sure if I did or not.
Let's see, Fire Ninja and Sonic the Hedgehog asks, "Hey Big, how is your fishing with Froggy?" I presume that's the question. Froggy's really easy to catch. All you have to do is press down on the control stick and he bites immediately.
I'd be a little bit afraid having a friend that bites.
Well, I mean, what else would you expect the things that you're fishing to do?
Why are you fishing your friend anyway?
Because he ran away!
Froggy, stop running away. Oh my gosh. Arms.
Oh, Princess Pony says that you drew Maria on the first episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes?
Oh yeah! I don't know what episode, but I did draw her in crayon once during that, like, I did a crayon art one time where they were talking about, like, what Shadow's life growing up was like, and when, like, his, voice was deepening, he did, like, the Chaos Control! Like, that joke. That one had Human Maria drawn on it, but it wasn't crayon.
Well, it would still be your style.
Yes, it would be. Maybe that's it.
Okay, I've seen this a couple times in the chat. Jason366 Guerrero asks, "Hey Skull, did you see the movie Coco?" No, I have not. I don't go to the movies very often, unfortunately.
I'm not sure what your taste in movies is like, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. It was a lot of fun.
I've definitely been able to, like, get down and try, like, the newer Disney movies. Oh, Coco is like Pixar, isn't it? I think it's Pixar.
Immediately Googles, is Coco Pixar or Disney? Apparently I'm not the first person who has asked this question.
Because, like, modern Disney and Pixar
Produced by
are
Pixar
like,
Animation Studios, released by Walt Disney Pictures. Okay, so it is a Pixar movie. But yeah, they're hard to tell apart immediately now because Disney produces, like, some pretty good, 3D films now, so now they're even harder to tell apart. Back in the day, it was just like, oh, is it 3D? Then it was the Pixar group.
I don't know. It was. It seems to me like the Disney 3D studio and Pixar still have both their own distinct, differentiated styles. That's just my opinion.
I think I'd have to study the difference between them. I guess I never really, like, looked at them in comparison to one another. Maybe I could pick up on the subtleties then. I can't even remember which one's Disney and which one's Pixar now.
I think it's more so in the writing than anything else, but you know. But the point is, I haven't seen Coco, and I don't know if I'd really want to sit through a 21-minute quote-unquote Frozen short. Not that I have any opinion on Frozen. I haven't seen that either. So that shows how like current I am in movies. But so that's my thing on Coco there. Let's see. Cassandra asks, "Big, what is your favorite instrument?" Big. Okay, let's see. My favorite instrument is a fishing pole because I use it to catch fish.
You know, it can be used as a one-string guitar or a one-string violin.
Alright, let's see here. Tech Swift, SonicSong182, what are your thoughts on Power Rangers? As a fan of Power Rangers myself, I love this question.
You know what? I think Skull will be able to give you a fairly detailed, thought on what he thinks about Power Rangers. I am only familiar with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original one, and I don't know if they had a different name when they had the first cast change. like when they got Rocky, Adam, and Aisha into the story, or if that was still Mighty Morphin.
That was the second season of Mighty Morphin.
Okay, second season, but still Mighty Morphin. Alright, that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The series from like the 90s is the only one that I'm familiar with. I never saw any of the other ones, but I was a fan as a kid. I really enjoyed it a lot. I had action figures, I had bed sheets. It was a good time.
I was a baby during that time, so I kind of like missed the Power Rangers hype. Though I got into it like before I can even remember anything, so I must have been part of that hype, and I had action figures and stuff from around then. My sort of series expertise is between Mighty Morphin and Time Force, which was the season that aired in 2001. So all of the original Saban era. And aside from Lost Galaxy, it was mostly pretty solid. It was like a really entertaining series, especially when you have seasons. Like In Space was the best one, in my opinion, that wrapped up what they call the Zordon era of the first 6 seasons. And then Time Force as well, which was adapted from a really good installment of the Japanese series, and they kept it really, really good.
Nice.
Alright, let's see. Good night, Miracle. To answer your question about my favorite Pokemon, because I saw that a couple times, my favorite Pokemon is... it kind of fluctuates, but I'd say mostly it's Charizard. And as a little bonus, my favorite legendary Pokemon is Lugia. So there you go. I'm more so a Gen 1 and 2 person because that's when I was like really a fan. But you know,
sweet. Charizard's he's a good choice. He's cool. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
But most people know by now that my favorite is Meowth. I don't know if I've ever said what my favorite legendary was though. I don't know if I've thought about it. Like my instinct of like is of course to be like Mew! But yeah, I'll just stick with Mew. That's a legendary, right? Does that count? Like, you could never catch one. If that doesn't count, I guess I need to default to something else, but...
For the sake of the question, I'd say that Mew is a legendary Pokemon. I don't know if they officially consider it that, but considering that you could only get Mew at events unless if you knew how to cheat, then yes.
I somehow managed to have one as a kid, but that's because my brother knew how to cheat, so...
I'm sorry, you were cutting out there.
Oh, I was saying I had a Mew as a kid when I, like, had my first Pokemon games, but that was because my brother knew how to get it. I don't know anything about how to get fancy, unavailable Pokemon.
Excellent Boy says, Meow, that's right! At SonicSong182.
Hooray! Thank you.
Nikki Carson asks if you can do your Blaze voice.
Yes, I can. Hi. I just got here, so I'm not sure what's going on. All I know is that Big is here, and we've got a jar of mayonnaise and a fishing pole being used as a violin. This is an assault upon music. What's going on here?
It sure is. Whack.
Ow! I'm not the drum. Oh my goodness. Somehow we are going to go ahead and make a band out of what we've got. But anyway, hello everyone, this is Blaze. I hope you're doing well. And I hope Shadow and Silver are behaving themselves at Disneyland. To be honest, I'm very concerned.
You know, just like imagining Silver at Disneyland. I gotta imagine that. I guess I have this like sort of comedic interpretation of Silver. So like, I imagine he's just like having a blast, just being like, "I love the teacups, wee."
Well, he did have a pretty good time just seeing like Aladdin. He was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Aladdin!" He just like screamed it, and Shadow's like, "Dude, shut up." That's
Bye-bye, Lyrical Miracle. Sorry, Again, it's like the you cutting out. I don't know when you're done speaking. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Just you just do your best. I don't know what.
I've never been to a Disney park, which is kind of sad because I'm 23 years old. But so I don't know if Aladdin is underwhelming or.
No, Aladdin is awesome. But still, he had a big reaction to it.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not supposed to. I have to resist coloring them all nice. They're not supposed to be fancy drawings. So, I gotta take it easy.
Are you coloring them in today?
I'm just supposed to clean up, like, line art, but the coloring stuff is supposed to be really brief and simple, also. The problem, like, the reason why I usually do them in crayon is because it's a more limiting medium, so I can't be a perfectionist on the art. Like, I could draw it maybe 3 times, but no matter what I do, it's still in crayon, and so it's not very precise. And so I'm able to just doodle these things out really fast without worrying about it. Because they're just supposed to be like little cutesy illustrations, but I do have a tendency to overdo it a little.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Raiden Jack says, and my question, so if you guys don't get to it, I'm okay with it, but I just want to feel like you guys love it if that's a year you sculpt. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand what you're saying.
What was it? Oh, the chat. Yeah, I'm way behind over here, so I'm not sure what it said either.
Yeah, I'm like reading it live here. I'm covering for you. You got your drawings going on.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yoheath66 Skull. Why? Let's see. Big. How did you meet Froggy? Hope you see the question. I did see the question. So let's see here. How did Big and Froggy meet? Well, let's see. One day I was walking through the forest, or the jungle, or wherever frogs may roam, and Froggy was bouncing along, and he was just, he stopped, and he was just sitting there, and for some reason he just let me catch him, and I said, I'm gonna keep you as a pet, and I will love you, and hug you, and call you George. Nah, Froggy. So there you go.
Fascinating.
I'm giving very unremarkable answers.
Oh no, they're beautiful. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Like I said before the stream started, I can't multitask especially well.
That's A-okay. Okay. Kirby Reborn wants to know where Jet the Hawk is. Where is Jet the Hawk?
He's in Japan teaching English.
Alright.
He may be able to drop in again sometime, but that's where he's been.
I would try a Jet the Hawk voice, but I'd probably kill my throat doing that, so yeah. Okay, I am Lego Man. To Can, if you were to have a Sonic fan character based on yourself and your favorite animal, who, what, and why? Also, thanks for the comment from the Disneyland video.
Yay! That's always been a hard question for me. I think that most of the time, if people have drawn me as a Mobian or a Sonic animal character, I've usually been portrayed as a cat, an echidna, or an owl. I'm usually one of those 3 things, just depending on the artist. So, I think those things are probably... those sound pretty good.
An owl? That seems pretty rare.
Yeah, there aren't really that many bird characters. I think there's gonna be more now that, like, you could make a custom character in Sonic Forces as a bird. So I think they may be more popular just because they're just more accessible now. But yeah, it was usually a barn owl. And it's easier to tell why, I guess, if you know me in person, because I have a lot of gestures I make and ways that I move that are kind of barn owl-like. It's like sometimes I do like these big, slow, widening eyes at somebody when I'm starting to come to attention. I'm like, what? And it's a thing that I do with my eyes, and I turn my head all slow. It's like a specific owl-looking weird thing that I do. I have a very animated way of moving. It's very strange. I try not to in professional settings.
Not to mention, you also pull a lot of all-nighters.
Yeah, that's true. Technically, nowadays I'm an early bird. I prefer to be up early, but, you know, stuff's going on at night and I need to get things done and I have trouble going to sleep because that means I have to stop working on whatever it was I was doing, and usually I'm just like, I gotta go, I gotta do the thing, gotta finish. Calm down.
Let's see, Ouija Prower said way back when, that Old Man Owl from the, Sonic anime OVA movie, was, best character. And I've gotta say, back in my day, not that I can remember the line exactly, but I had all the ladies!
Oh my gosh, the owl guy. He will be fan character KN's grandpa.
I'm sorry?
He will be fan character KN's grandpa. Just that crazy owl guy. Those are Sonic's favorite clothes! He's gonna be so mad!
But I look so rad, though!
Sonic, when did you ever wear those clothes?
Yeah, really. Okay, this one, should be interesting. Maxella Fluffyfoot, asks, hey, Can, what was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject in school was, English. I liked to write, and I liked to read, and my other favorite subject, I guess, was history. Like, it wasn't something I actively pursued, but I always enjoyed being in history classes. I just thought it was all really interesting. It held my interest pretty well. I had some fun times in, like, high school science classes because Ames and I would be in the same class, and we were, like, marine biology and stuff, but... Okay, so marine biology was really fun just because of the circumstances of the class. Oh my gosh, it was just a ridiculous time. And, like, horrifying because we had to do dissections in that class. And so, it was just me and Ames, like, and we've got this squid in front of us, and like, why?
So, that makes me wonder, you two having the same class, then, would your teacher or teachers, if you had more than one class together, like, play up on that and be like, oh, hey, the sisters are here, or something? You
know, not really, no. I think, technically we're stepsisters, so I think they didn't even realize, because we didn't have, like, the same last names or anything. So, we were under the radar siblings, for the most part.
Let's see, okay, Memsley_mem, oh boy, okay, Skull902, if you mind, will you ask, Can, will you do a video with your face in it?
Oh, I have. I've done a couple, actually. If you watched, Sonic Goes to the Sonic Revolution convention, that was the first face reveal video that I ever did. Somewhere in the middle, while, the Sonic plushies are all meeting, various Sonic YouTubers. One of them is me, and it's, like, just this funny joke. I'm eating chips. And then the Sonic plushie recognizes me and, like, screams hashtag face reveal at the camera. It's a good time. So I had a face reveal video. I actually even have a second one. That was after Anime Expo, because we did all the Sonic Goes to Anime Expo videos as well. One of those was a thank you Team 182 video, and I do the intro for the video, just like, it's just me, it's not with any of the plushies and isn't with any artwork, it's just me standing there in front of the camera. So I have face revealed twice, and/or / had, videos with my actual face in it a couple of times.
If anyone's wondering, by the way, there will never be a Skull902 face reveal. Nuh-uh.
I 100% respect that. I did not plan on doing anything like that pre-hiatus, but the thing was I was meeting people in person, and so it just kind of happened anyway. It was because if I didn't go to Sonic Revolution, it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have done, like, an arbitrary face reveal for no reason. but it was because I went to that convention that I did it. But still, even at the same time, I don't really want to make, like, a big deal out of, like, what I look like, because that's, like, it really doesn't matter. As long as people are enjoying my work, that's what I want to emphasize. The stories, the videos, the having a good time, it doesn't matter what I, what I look like is not very relevant, I guess, since I have, like, a show that's based in, like, cartoon character. If I was, like, a vlogger, that would make a lot of sense, but, you know, it's just, incidental. I need to get the right color here. What am I doing?
My eyes are so fixated on the chat. I just looked over at the coloring process so far. Good looking stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fidencio Garcia asks if I can do my Sonic voice. Well, I'll try. Oh goodness, rip it. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I was distracted, but okay. Fidencio, my Sonic voice. Let's see if I can get it going here. So my Sonic voice, my usual impression sounds something like this. It's been very inconsistent. Like at times it sounded like this, but like now that I'm older, I kind of keep it around here. This might not be the best rendition I've ever done of it, but it's generally like this, you know.
I think the one I recognize most from Sonic and Mario, your Sprite series, was
hey, I'm so sorry about you cutting out, but you're cutting out.
Oh, I was, the version of your Sonic voice I remember most is the higher pitched one. I think
it was like
that, because, you know, that was 4 years ago, so it was in a more natural voice to do back then.
Thank you, My Little Twinkie Dash, for complimenting my impressions. Yeah, like back when it sounded like this, which I can barely do anymore. I was like 15 years old, so you know it was like easier to do. It, like you know, I've been doing this for a while, so
it happens. I mean, Cream's voice was easier for me to do back in the day, and I like already had like an adult voice. Like, by the time I started, but, you know, her voice is painful to do in the first place, so I will generally leave that one to Sonichi to do.
Yeah, that was basically, me and my Knuckles voice until, the current voice actor came in, and I was like, hey, I can impersonate this a lot easier.
This is better. She's just straight up blonde. Thing is being weird here.
Alrighty, let's see here. Jason366 Guru again. Hey Big, can you sing the Big and Chunky from Be My Valentine or Else? Well, I don't remember the exact tune, which I was tied up in a chair and forcibly made to sing by
I like him Flumpy? I don't remember the words myself. It's been a long time since I heard that song.
I'll do the little bit that I seem to remember pretty well. Chunky, 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 chunky. I hope that was good.
Plumpy is the other one. Plumpy is the next word. That was a good movie.
That was a neat idea, though, of having like an element of it be a fan vote. You should do that again.
You know, that's how we first got into doing audience interactions on the channel, like that, doing the fan vote for Be My Valentine or Else to determine, like, what characters were gonna be in the leading role going on the date. Like, that was the first time that we had the audience, like, interact with the project in general, and that's part of what gave me the idea to do Ask the Sonic Heroes, shortly afterwards, because that was a lot of fun. There were 300 people at the time that voted, and so they put Sonic and Amy as the main characters of the video, and that was a lot of fun. But that was an important video project in our history because of that.
I'm sorry you're cutting off again.
That's okay, I was just talking about Be My Valentine or Else.
Yeah, it was, Goodness, it was like 3 months, like the Vote Here video, like after the first movie, yeah?
I don't remember what the timing was.
It was very, very close after, like the first movie, and the second movie had just been done, I think.
With the first movie being Shadow and the 13 Ghosts, second movie was A Sonic Christmas Carol, movie number 3 was Be My Valentine or Else, if I recall correctly, on all fronts.
Yeah.
I don't know what color your dress is, Maria. I know it's blue, but my Maria has a different outfit on. do. Here we go. Oops. I'm getting out of the lines here. Oh no, I'm also coloring on the wrong layer. That's great. I'm gonna go to this layer.
Fun John asks if you can do an Ash Ketchum impression.
You know, I had a project a long time ago before SonicSong182. It was on my original channel, Trolley Trade, when I was just doing voice acting stuff, back when I was a little more into voice acting in general. And like I did voice Ash Ketchum, like as a bit role in something that I was working on, just because he was like in the background. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I'm all that good at it, but I need to think of something for him to say. That's always like the hardest part, like, oh, what do I talk about? How do I get started? I don't have like a warm-up line that I usually say for Ash Ketchum.
If she can't do an Ash Ketchum voice, I will be happy to provide my impression of James from Team Rocket.
Whoa, we might as well do both. I mean, no reason it should be one or the other. Jesse I can do from Team Rocket, like that's basically still just my Rouge voice, but like slightly higher.
Wait a second. Oh goodness. If like Jesse was the like sort of lead the first line of their speech.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all evils within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse!
James.
Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Me out, that's right.
Oh no, it's Team Rocket! What are you guys doing here? Are you here to steal Pikachu again? For your information, we're going to Alola and we're having a good time and you're not invited.
And I'm here for once. Me, Brock. Remember me.
Remember me. Sorry.
That was possibly one of the coolest things I've ever done. Oh, let's see. Rabbit Sonic fan says, Skull902, you better do the Jelly Donuts line. Here, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it very quick.
The Jelly Donuts line.
I sure do love these jelly donuts, which are definitely jelly donuts and not any other kind of snack. Jelly donuts! Yum, yum, yum.
I love jelly donuts. Also, Ash owes me a new bike.
Yes.
Misty, I would have to study a little bit. It's just from memory. I can't quite remember what she's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, did you know, actually,
Did you know?
Like, there was, during the first Pokemon movie, when they were doing the English dub, and they were, like, looking at the footage after Ash, gets turned into stone, and, like, everyone made a comment, and, like, the lip flaps were just right, and Misty's voice actor remembered, so she did like a little improv, and they didn't put it in the movie obviously, but she was like, my bike? And in reaction, it was, I wish they would have kept that in the movie, that would have been amazing.
They should have. Sometimes voice actor ad-libs can add more continuity to a thing and it makes it fun.
Oh yeah. Susie Kirby, let's see, can I do a big impression saying, Froggy, where are you? Froggy, where are you? I hope that was sufficient.
Oh no. I just did something wrong. Here we go. I will merge these, because I can't have that box in there. Okay. Alright, let me do this part again.
Textwell says you guys did a great job as Team Rocket. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
If I can have permission, I might do like a highlights video and just like either edit it for your channel or maybe mine. I don't know.
No, sure, go ahead.
Oh man, that'd be so great. Definitely including Team Rocket.
Go for it.
Again, I will say that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. So.
Yay! Alright, let's see. See, I'm taking.
Let's see. Laserwave says, "Can you do an impression of Shadow?" Is that? I presume that's for me. I don't know if Nux even has a Shadow impression, or at least a non-joke one.
We had that Sonic Wicked musical where Ames and I just played like everybody, but even then she was Shadow, I was Sonic in that thing.
Okay.
And it wasn't like convincing, but you get the idea.
That must have been directed to me then.
I must imagine so.
So yes, here's my Shadow voice. It's kind of rough, but that's because I've never taken the right precautions to voice acting, so I did kind of do a little bit of damage. So Shadow's voice is like the most obvious example of that, but you know, it's one of my favorite voices to do because it doesn't take a terrible amount of effort, and you know, just it's cool to be all dark and stuff.
Yeah, and we did get to hear a clip of him from since we watched part of your Shadows Confusion video at the beginning.
Yeah, that might have been someone, you know, who wasn't there for that.
Oh,
so,
yeah. But as an additional example. Stop. Computer, stop.
Thank you again to Alinus with no regrets. I very much appreciate the compliments.
Even the eraser is not working.
Oh no!
Even using the eraser tool is coloring him gray. Okay, I'll just... What? No. No!
No!
Okay, that was weird. Okay, so apparently I don't get an eraser. If I want to erase something, I have to color over it in white. My computer has glitchy issues at times.
No! Country Bear Hall has been crushed.
Bears!
Alright, excellent boy. Let's see. If I can remember correctly, he wants me to do the drying pan line. So let's see if I can remember. I'll turn this frying pan into a drying pan. I don't remember it exactly, but
I think that is what he said.
That was such a lame line.
Oh my god.
But it was great because it's Brock.
Brock. Alright, it's true. For some reason, my computer is no longer recognizing the erase concept, so I'm stuck this way.
Cassandra asks, SonicSong182 is, what is the most frustrating thing about drawing in your opinion? Mine is coloring in the wrong layer.
I think I might agree with that as being a fairly frustrating part of coloring. At the moment, the problem is just computer issues, which is... I don't know if that counts properly as answering the question, but that's never a lot of fun. I mean, you're in the mood to draw, you're having a good time, but your computer refuses you. So, but I would agree that suddenly, like, coloring or drawing on the wrong layer is like it's an unfortunate setback, because then you just have to, whatever you just accomplished, you have to erase it and do it again because you were coloring over all the wrong stuff, so that's not any fun. So I think I would probably agree with you on that. Another thing that can be frustrating is like having a really specific, like, cool pose in mind or something that you really want to draw, but like you just can't get it on paper looking anywhere near as cool as you pictured it. You're like, oh man.
I'd say for me, the most frustrating thing about drawing is everything because I'm terrible at it.
Well, you know, it's something that one can get good at with time, but you have to enjoy it enough to, you know, survive the frustrations. Like, you know, if you don't like it enough for that, then it's really hard to improve, because then, you know, you could probably spend your time doing something that isn't quite as disgruntling.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's something I think I would enjoy, and something I have enjoyed doing before, but I haven't put a lot of investment into it, even though it's something that I really, really want to get into. So that's definitely on the bucket list. Things to do before I die.
Draw stuff.
MK Hadan says, or asks, who is your favorite Undertale character?
I've not played the game, so I don't know anything, unfortunately. Have you played it before, Skull?
I've only seen a brief bit of it, and please don't kill me, chat, after I say this, but I didn't think that it looks terribly interesting. I'm so sorry!
I've seen a lot of the skeleton guys running around. I teach, that's one of, like, my 3 jobs. And for Halloween, one of the kids that I teach dressed up as the skeleton that has the blue hoodie on with the white ruff. I think that skeleton's name is Sans.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, another skeleton, and his name is, like, Asgard or something.
It's, Papyrus.
Oh! Well, I'm thinking of somebody, like, is there anybody named Azrael in that game?
I don't know.
I'm showing my amazing knowledge of this game. Yeah, I don't know anything about Undertale, really.
I only know a very small amount of things about Undertale.
I've never even watched gameplay of it, so I am completely clueless, except that it's popular enough to where it's, like, everywhere. I know Flowey exists. It's this angry flower. That is the only person I got. I think it must be evil or something because of the way it's always portrayed. It's everywhere.
I do have to bring attention to this. Many of the chat people, yeah, we've got some lag going on.
It probably means that I'm gonna explode pretty soon, but I don't know what to do about that exactly. We'll find out. Sorry for the lag, guys. We'll see if it can come back.
Alright, we're aware of the situation. Hopefully it improves.
Yep. Really all we can do for now is, if you can chat with people in the, like in the chat box. Until it, like, jump starts itself. That could, because it might just be something I need to wait out, but if it lasts too long, then I need to, like, stop the stream. Which is always not, like, a lot of fun to do, because then it breaks, like, the stream in half and, like, floods people's, subscriptions boxes with 2 streams of me.
So you wanted me to start typing in the chat?
Yes, if you can. If you just, type to everybody a little bit. Because I'm not sure... Because it looks like it's coming back by itself, but I can't tell.
It's still, like, giving me the loading thing on my end, but,
yeah, I'm a little bit ahead. Like, it looks clear, like it cleared up on my end, but you guys might not be caught up to that part yet. Either that, or my stream version is just, behaving itself better.
Alright, I'm gonna ask the chat, just, is it still lagging for you guys?
You guys still lagging? Or are you good?
See, one person says, one person says it's back, another person says technical difficulties. Okay, let's see, I've got 3 people saying that it's back.
Well, provided anyone can hear me now, since we're not quite sure if the stream is good to go yet. What was that? That was a lioness with no regrets asked, KN, why are you called Nux? The reason lots of people call me Nux and why my nickname is KN, is because when my sister and I first started this channel, it was just supposed to be like a fun little throwaway channel. We wanted to sing our silly, like, Sonic and Wicked musical where Shadow was the Wicked Witch of the West and stuff. And, like, we just made it to have fun, so we never really thought about, like, long terms that the nicknames we picked for ourselves would be confusing. Because the channel mascots that we picked were her favorite character, Amy Rose, and my favorite character, Knuckles the Echidna. And then we just had them, like, you know, as the channel mascots, and we were nicknamed after them also. But the problem was, as people actually started to watch our videos, they got mixed up and thought that we were trying to roleplay as the characters, which made conversations really confusing, because we were not trying to roleplay, and so then we shortened the nicknames so that they were still the same names we had before, but it was more differentiated. So instead of being called Amy, my sister started going by Ames, and instead of having everybody nickname me Nux, I had them start calling me KN. But a lot of you guys and, like, you know, a lot of the voice actors have been around so long that everyone remembers that I was called Nux, so everyone still calls me that. So,
yeah, it slips out because I'm one of the OGs, yo.
Yeah, like, you know, my nickname on the channel was Nux for a really long time, so, it happens. But yeah, that's why. It was just, I was nicknamed after my favorite character, and then I distanced a little bit from that exact name because it was confusing people.
Did you ever get anyone who, like, legitimately asked you, like, where the Master Emerald is, and then you'd be like,
constantly.
oh, I got it on eBay, and then they'd be like, no, you're the Guardian!
Guardian! Well, that was the problem, because if you remember, Skull, Ames and I we shared the account, so we were both logged in, and we were both responding to comments, and so people could tell which of the two of us they were talking to. We used to label our comments, and hers would be labeled Amy, and what she wanted to say to people, and when I would write to people, it was, Nux, and then my comment. So it really, like, it looked like we were role-playing, and so people would talk to us as if we were the characters, and that was, it was not what we were intending, so, yeah, we got that a lot. It was definitely confusing people. I don't remember exactly when, I switched over to having, KN be the primary nickname. It must have been sometime nearing Ask the Sonic Heroes, because, like, then it was real confusing. Because they could ask questions to Knuckles, but then they had me running around with a confusing nickname, so it was getting weird.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years after the channel had started that like, the sort of change went on.
Yeah, we started in, like, 2008, and then I think Ask the Sonic Hero started up in 2010. Also, Icy the Cool One asked, just got here, who's hosting? Hello, this is KN from SonicSong182, and I am here today with my voice actor for Big the Cat, Skull902.
Hey everyone, Skull902 here. That's how I introduce all my videos. Watch my channel unless if you don't want to cry.
Well, I did have the link up so people could check you out if they wanted to. No, don't do that. Okay, here we go. I think I am lagging again, but here you go. In the meantime, while the lag happens, I'm not sure if we're good. I guess it depends. It looks like it might have gotten better.
I'm still lagging, but that's okay because I'm mostly looking at the chat. Not that I don't like your art.
Oh, yeah,
it's beautiful, but
it is still lagging. I don't really even know what causes it, because my computer's not showing its signs of glitching.
Maybe your internet connection?
Yeah, maybe. I've got like it's net neutrality!
Oh no!
I'm kidding. That's not even a thing yet.
Mato Brito, thank you for the subscribe. I very much appreciate that. I hope that you like what you see there.
Ta-da! Oh yeah, another reminder that we gave earlier, everybody. Skull902 does have, he does have some swearing and things like that in his videos, so if you're sensitive to swearing, you will find lots of it there, so you might want to be careful about that, but he makes lots of Sonic and Mario stuff and some other things. He started doing some Let's Plays again recently.
Yeah.
He did a parody, I think just yesterday, about his response to net neutrality. So yeah, he's got a variety of things going on over there.
Yeah, I've got a slightly more edgy channel.
Yeah, I'm not edgy at all.
You're edgy in the first movie, just a little bit, and
just
then
a little bit edgy.
we have an audience, and then it had to change.
Yes. One, because very few people were watching that, and I was just trying to be accurate to the character, because the lead character was Shadow the Hedgehog, and his game has him speaking that way, so I had him talk like that too, and so then later I decided, like, even if he swore in his own game, I'm like, you know what? I think that's something I don't need to include.
Yeah, like the understanding at the time was that Shadow said D-yarn.
Yeah, and Sonic and Espio did too, so I'm just like, well, this is just, you know, that's just how the characters talk, this is the age demographic, I suppose, but I was like, you know what? In retrospect, this is not a good idea.
Okay, two things here. Plushy Child, quickly. So, Skull, you still want a pizza? I want pizza all the time. That's one of the foods that I can't get sick of ever. And Tech Swift asks, any writing advice? Now, I never went to school for writing or anything like that, so please take my advice with a grain of salt, but just like, my main thing is comedy, and it like, keeping in mind what other people might find funny, just write what you think is funny. You know, that's just how I go, and sometimes it might be regrettable. Like, I watched the first 2 seasons of Sonic and Mario earlier today before VidMe died, and I was like, ugh, this is bad. But, you know. So that's my writing advice.
I guess I did go to school for writing, but really, the best advice that I could give isn't something like go to a fancy institution to get like a diploma that tells you that you can write well. Instead, you should just write. Like, I know that sounds really simple as a piece of advice, but it's like literally the most important thing, because I feel like even me, like almost pretty much everybody, like we've got these ideas that we want to write about, or like scripts you want to do for a video, or a story you want to write for a book, like, but the problem is we spend a lot of time trying to make everything perfect as we go, and so what ends up happening is, one, you get intimidated by the blank page in front of you, so you like don't write at all. You're just busy doing your outlines after outlines and like over critiquing yourself, so you never even get started. Or you have first chapter syndrome, where you got your first chapter, awesome, but then you go back and keep trying to fix that first chapter so that you never keep going. Like, you know, I think there's like a level of fear, I guess, in like just not being good enough yet. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about being good at all. Just go and write and have fun. If your first draft of something is the worst thing you ever wrote, that is totally fine, because it's a lot easier to make something good out of something that you have a rough draft of, even a really, really rough draft. It's a lot easier to make something good out of that than to start from scratch with a blank page and be like, this needs to be perfect the first time. So, like, make a horrible rough draft of what you want to do first, and then you can fix it when you've gotten all the way through, when you finished the whole thing. Another thing that's helpful about doing that, just getting your whole first draft done before you go back and edit anything, is that in retrospect, it's a lot easier to know what needed to be fixed. Because, like, you know, you'll be at the end and going like, oh man, this ending sure would work out better if they had, like, such and such item but now because you're that far along and you suddenly realize, like, that will make a good ending, you can, you know, take notes about how far back you need to go and what scenes you need to write in order to introduce that item so that your story becomes more cohesive. But anyway, those are just things that I don't even think that I was necessarily taught any of those things by going to school for writing. Those are just things you learn by making yourself write. So that's my main advice. Just write. Just write. Yeah. Finish the thing.
If I can add just another little thing,
Absolutely.
I suppose it's also, like, a good thing, like, I've been doing this since I was, like, you know, a teenager and really starting to take writing seriously. But another thing I suppose you should ask yourself before you start writing is, like, a very important thing is, do you want this to make sense? And if the answer is yes, does what you wrote make sense? And if it does to you, good. If not, then, you know, just look it over and, you know, just try to change, you know, what's wrong about it in your eyes. And if your answer is no, I don't want this to make sense, then go wild.
Just go have fun.
Go all out.
Okay, so we've got like 40 minutes left of the stream. I spent like the entire time doing this nice, beautiful picture right there. But what that leaves me with is 4 other ones. Most of this, of course, I'm going to have to do, like, not on the stream. But, I need to figure out which one to work on next while I'm still on the stream. So...
I still can't see it, but I kind of liked the one of, Silver being eaten by a dinosaur. That was fun.
He's not being eaten! I guess it looks like that, now that you mention it. No, he likes it. He's friends. He's petting its nose and it's eating a plant. But I guess now that you mention it, his leg is sticking out right where the dinosaur's mouth is.
I apologize for this grievous mistake.
No, that's fine. That's why I have to clean up the sketches and I can't just put these in the video because then people will be like, oh, there's that time Silver was getting eaten by a Stegosaurus. Like, oh boy, that's not what I meant to do at all.
This is a situation I do not like being in.
It's no use!
Yes.
Oh, this is good music. Okay, really quick. Which drawing should I do next on the stream? Okay, that's gonna be Silver Stegosaur. Oh my gosh. This is, it's dinosaur names are hard to spell. The other one is Silver Apatosaurus. Apparently, they're called Apatosauruses. At some point, they revoked the name Brontosaurus because they found out Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus were the same thing. That's my understanding of the situation, but because Apatosaurus was the first name that animal was given, they were like, okay, they're now Apatosauruses in, like, my childhood. That's like removing Pluto from the planets.
When they were like, yeah, Triceratops isn't its own species. What are you talking about? Sorry, I didn't say this sooner. Ashley the Hedgehog was departing from the stream, so have a good night.
Yes, good night. Okay, here we go. I just had to make this really quick. This is the solution to all of my problems. Vote for what drawing to do next. I'll start in... no, never mind.
Fela Mora says, SonicSong182 and Skull902, have you guys heard Infinite's full theme? If you're referring to the one that was released very recently, no, I have not listened to it.
You know, I actually haven't either. I heard the regular short one.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I thought that song was okay.
Yeah, it was a decent song.
It wasn't really my cup of tea, but, you know, it had some, like, good parts in there, you know, I could get down with a bit of it.
Yeah, I can appreciate, like, the character theme aspect of it. It's not the kind of music I would normally be listening to, but it had some good qualities to it. Let's look. Let's have a look. Okay, right now we've got 30 of you have weighed in. Sonic and Bros is very close with Silver and Espio right now, so we'll wait a little bit longer. Now they're literally tied, so we'll see what happens as it goes. But I'm gonna come back to the chat for now.
Alright, Musical Sushi, hello!
Sushi! Hi, Sushi!
She's graced our stream.
Yes! The Queen!
Queen Sush. This one goes out to all my peeps in Team Sushi. Love you guys.
Team Sushi! I was Sushi's biggest fan before it was cool. Hi, Sushi.
Look at all these people. Like,
yep, everybody
Sushi
knows. Everyone knows who Sushi is.
Sushi brightens people's days up.
Yay! Let's have another quick look. Oh, Silver and Espio pulled ahead by 1 vote. You guys still got some time, though. Oh my goodness, they tied again. What am I gonna do?
Rapid Sonic fan was astounded that the Apatosaurus had last place. I'm sorry, man.
What the? Oh, I just noticed that. Question the Gaming Gecko said, so I'm thinking about subscribing to SonicSong182. Do I need to pay a monthly fee to keep the subscription, or it's free? As far as I know, it is 100% free to subscribe to anyone you want on YouTube. But I'm not sure if that was a joke regarding the net neutrality situation or not. Like, it seemed like it might have been a joke, but just in case it was not a joke, it is completely free to subscribe. In fact, speaking of subscribing, this is a fantastic channel as well. This is Skull902's channel. He is the voice actor for Big the Cat, and he is my co-host on the stream today.
Hello.
I showed you guys this earlier. Again, he's got some swearing and slightly more edgier humor on this channel, so just keep that in mind. The one I showed you guys earlier was the Shadow one. But, yeah, you guys go check him out. Cool dude. Okay.
Check it out if you want to. If you don't want to, then please, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah. Hale Stackhouse said, I thought it was more of a joke toward the paid subscription sites. Yeah, it seemed like it was a joke, but just in case it wasn't, I also answered it seriously. Alice Bricks asked, are these pictures from the new episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes? Yes, they are. I needed some, like, quick illustrations while the characters were getting a point across, and so I was doodling them so you guys could get a little preview of the Christmas episode, which I'm trying to get out by, like, sometime. I'm trying to do it by the 22nd, but don't hold me to that for right now, because it depends on a lot of elements. Meanwhile, Musical Sushi and everybody else who is in the thralls of finals right now, I wish you all luck.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's see. I see the cool one. I scrolled up to your question. Can Skull902 do any other voices? I don't know which ones you've heard that I've done. Let's see, which ones did I do on stream so far? Shadow, Sonic, Mario,
Block.
Luigi, Bowser.
You didn't do Yoshi?
Oh, Yoshi. It surprised me, actually, that I could even do this, but let's see. This is another one that I don't practice very often, but,
That is pretty good. I remember we talked one time, and you laughed at me when I tried to do mine.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out again.
I was just saying, I remember when we both tried to do a Yoshi voice, and you laughed, because mine was pretty bad.
Oh.
To be fair, I laughed also. It was amusing. I don't know how to do the throat thing that you need for it.
It was... it was... We were having fun, so...
yeah, it was a good time.
I wasn't making fun of her. We were just having a good time.
Oh, hey, can't you do Stitch from Lilo and Stitch? Is that what you can do? That's like a Yoshi-ish voice. That's why I thought of it.
Oh yeah, I can do Stitch. I can do a few characters for that. Like like, this is the voice I use for Pleakley! And, I like doing the whole high-pitched, like, exaggerated thing. And like, Gentoo sounds like this. And, Dr. Jacques von Hamsterville sounds like this. And then, of course, you got my favorite character in the whole Stitch franchise, 605, Ruben. Good guy right there. You want some sandwiches?
I want a sandwich. Okay, I think it's now that it's 4:30. That's, I think, enough time for us to pull the votes in on the straw poll. So let's have a look. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, these two were close. But in the end, out of the 42 people who weighed in, 38% and 16 of the votes went to the Silver and Espio drawing, with Sonic and Bros being 36% with 15 of the votes. So by one vote, Silver and Espio. You know what they say, the one vote matters. Okay, thank you. It's I'll work on Silver and Espio's. That one's a simpler drawing anyway. It's got less characters to try to do in a shorter period of time. Alright, let's knock these guys out. I'll leave Shadow and Maria's up there for right now, since it's done. Okay. And here we go. Ethan Midbow said, "Hi Sonic Song, I'm playing Sonic 3 Complete. That's a good game, I hope you have a good time." It was a lot of fun getting to play through that one, when various things that were intended for Sonic 3, and a few special options.
It's definitely one of the most interesting ROM hacks that have come about in recent times. Just the level of customization is just top-notch.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, sorry, not Michael, I'm so sorry. Michelle Valentine says, SonicSong182, have you watched the 2014 and 16 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies?
I don't think so. Those are like the live-action Michael Bay ones, yeah? I think the last Ninja Turtles movie I saw was like, it was a cartoon one where the 80s Turtles met the 2004 TMNT Turtles.
Okay, that was Turtles Forever. It was a TV special.
Yeah, Turtles Forever is the last Ninja Turtles, like, movie thing that I saw. I have not seen any of the, new ones that have been in theaters. Skull, have you seen any of the new Ninja Turtles movies?
No, I haven't seen the Michael Bay ones. And to be completely honest, I am not interested in seeing them at all.
Well, I bet Shadow from Ask the Sonic Heroes would be interested in it, because
I'm sorry, you bet Shadow what?
I was just saying Shadow from Ask the Sonic Heroes might have wanted to watch them because Megan Fox is in them.
Oh man, I'm
pick to be April O'Neil.
I'm so sorry about you cutting out.
That's okay, never mind. It's alright. It's not important.
Alright, Bob Griffin asks, have I watched Godzilla 2014? Unfortunately, I have not. I haven't been able to watch a lot of, like, modern movies. It's really unfortunate. That's one I really, really wanted to see. Especially when it came out, and I just haven't been able to.
I think the only Godzilla that I saw was, like, the original one from, like, the 30s. I think that's the only one. I don't think I watched much.
I didn't hear anything you said.
I'm sorry. You know what? I shouldn't draw his eyes yet until I know exactly what
it's the music.
I don't know. I'll silence it for a little bit and we'll see if that helps. But it's from an outside source, so I'm not sure why that would cause lags or glitches, since I'm not streaming from that computer and I'm also not talking to you from that computer. The only thing it's doing is sitting there in the corner and playing music. But I'll try.
I think what it is that it's like the microphone you're speaking to me with is trying to choose between what to prioritize.
Huh. That is strange. It has the same playing power as someone sitting next to me, but just in case, I did go ahead and silence the music. But that means you have to talk more, because now awkward silences.
I know. I'm really sorry about the radio silence and just the technical problems in this episode.
We are giving it a try. We'll see if it's the music. Because maybe
right,
it is. Maybe it's just, like, too much sound for the mic. I have no idea.
Maybe. Super Fawful Bros, speaking of music, asks Skull902, what is your favorite song from Sonic Forces? I can tell you without a doubt that my favorite song from that game is from Aqua Park, I believe the level is called. The song itself is called Moonlight Battlefield, and it sounds really, really nice. I quite love it. I'm not, like, usually into the, like, super fast beat dance songs, but that one sounded really good, especially with the vocalist.
Nice. This almost seems like a cop-out answer, but my favorite song was the Supporting Me remix from, like, Episode Shadow when you're, like, playing in the, like, when Infinite's trying to do some mind games. That was good music.
I don't remember a lot from Episode Shadow, and I've been corrected a couple times now. That level is Aqua Road. Again, I apologize for this horrific, horrible mistake.
It's okay. I don't really know I don't remember what the levels are called. I'd have to look at them. But the Supporting Me remix was good. I also did really like all the battle songs that played when you were fighting Infinite. Like, I thought his theme was worked into those songs in a way that was fun, and you got, like, a few different versions of them. So, oh my gosh, what am I drawing here? So that was a lot of fun. I had, like, a list before of the songs that I liked a lot, but I'm not really sure where that list is.
In terms of the music that I liked from Sonic Forces, like, it's a pretty safe bet with the Avatar. That was like the source of the best music in the game, in my opinion. Because I don't think modern Sonics was very remarkable, and most of classic Sonics was, in my opinion, just my opinion, I didn't think it was very good.
Yeah, I think after having just come off of some really good, like, classic Sonic, like, music from T-Lopes and Mania, it ended up sounding kind of generic. Like, they did a good job with the classic Sonic music, when they did Generations, so there was something kind of, like, rushed about his stage music. I don't know whose stages these even were, but I found my list. I liked Supporting Me, the virtual reality remix from, I know that was from Episode Shadow. I liked Arsenal Pyramid 2, the Infinite Battle songs. I thought Metropolitan Highway was fun. I liked Null Space, even though I thought it was a little bit simplistic. I wish they had more of it, but then again, you only spend about 17 to 20 seconds in that level, so I can understand why it was short and sweet like that. And I did like the Spaceport music also. Yay!
Yay!
Whole list!
And, they were definitely going with some different styles for the game, and in some places it worked, some places it didn't. Unfortunately, it seems to be one of the weaker Sonic games in terms of soundtrack, but that's just my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it generally Sonic music performs very highly, so, you know, it had a lot to live up to in terms of what it was, you know, going for. It had a lot to compete with in terms of being, like, an excellent soundtrack, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely, especially as an anniversary game.
Yes. Sorry.
Let's see here. Yoheath66 says, liked the end credit song. Thank you for reminding me of that. That was, I did think that was a very good song, too.
Yeah, I forgot. Like, I didn't think much of it at the time when I played through it, because when I played through it the first time, I was live streaming it, and so around the time the credits came on, I wasn't really listening to the music anymore because I needed to talk to everybody who was on the stream and had some entertaining to do, so I didn't really listen to it, but in the, like, days following, I got a chance to really listen to that song, and, yeah, actually, that was pretty good. I liked that one a lot also. I would put that on my list as a song I really enjoyed from Forces.
Yeah, I haven't played through the game yet, but I did watch a playthrough, and that was definitely one of the best parts. I thought was the credit song in terms of music.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, let's see here. I've seen this come up quite a bit. A lot of people want to know what your favorite ship is.
You know, I tell everybody every time that it's hard for me to talk about what my favorite ship is. Just from experience, people get mad about it, and I'm like, why can't we just have like a chat about like, you know, different ships that are fun? Because I'm a multi-shipper. I can pretty much make, if I know enough about the characters, I can make an excuse to ship just about anybody. Like, you know, because as a writer and somebody who takes the characters on their own adventures, like, it's interesting to me to find out, like, how would these two characters pair off? Like, what kind of friendship would they need to develop for it to go in that direction? So I can basically see anybody's, like, favorite pairing working out for the most part. Like, so I'm a multi-shipper, so I don't get defensive, but a lot of other people do, and so it makes conversations about favorite ships kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, can't we just have a nice conversation and our response be like, oh, that's cool, what's yours? But I have actually had people yell at me before. I'm like, okay, I guess this is something we don't talk about.
Yeah, I don't really delve into that, so that's just my thing. There you go.
I am a big, fluffy romantic. I like having romantic subplots in my projects. I enjoy them. I think they're cute and they're fun. So like I do have favorites, but at the same time I can easily like see everybody else's favorites working out pretty well too.
All right.
So I'll go with that. Multi-shipper.
We send you a gracious goodbye, Musical Sushi. We very much enjoyed your presence here.
Good luck.
Good luck in school and everything, and just stay cool.
Fight the power! Yeah, fight the power. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh, that whole radio silence thing that you were talking about, it's cropping up.
That's it. Yeah, the music will help with that a little bit, because, you know, I get into focusing on my stuff, so I'll usually have, like, something playing in the background so it doesn't get boring to listen to.
Just, let's see, well, okay, Elemental God Anthony J. Infinity asks, SonicSong182, how do I make my channel as awesome as yours?
You know, it's hard to say, because, like I mentioned before earlier in the stream, Ames and I didn't make this channel with, like, even the most remote intention at all of having anybody watch what we were doing. Like, it was never about, like, you know, gaining an audience or anything. I mean, we made the channel in the first place because we made a musical where we were singing as the Sonic characters, and we sang it so badly, but we had so much fun with it that we were like, you know what? We'll just make it like a channel to host our dumb song on because we love it and, like, you know, we don't know what to do with it on our main channel, so here we go. SonicSong182. We'll sing songs as Sonic characters on here, and we'll just have fun. It was just like a little goofy side channel just for fun. It wasn't even like a main project of ours, so, like, you know, all we did to end up where we were right now, I guess, is just, you know, we picked something that we liked, no matter, like, it didn't matter if anybody else was gonna like what we were doing, it didn't matter if anyone else was gonna watch. We just picked a subject that we thought was fun, we had a really good time doing it, and then just put it up, and then it took off on its own. I think, I don't know, I guess things that helped is that we always did work hard on everything. I think at the time, not a lot of people made, like, you know, lots of people were making plush films. Like, there was a big plush film community, and so, you know, we talked to other people who were there, and we watched other people's videos, and we commented a lot just because it was fun to see what other people were doing, and the stories people would come up with were really cute. I think not a lot of people at the time had voice actors working on their projects, but working with voice actors can be very difficult. It adds a lot of quality. You make some great friends, but you can't make projects all that quickly because they are living, breathing people. They need to be scheduled and they need time to work on stuff, and so it took a lot longer to make things. And another thing people didn't do a lot back then is camera cuts. Surprisingly enough, mostly you would just have somebody holding a camera and then moving things, but there wasn't a lot of editing because we were all just out there having fun. So I think we tried some new things in terms of trying to get more quality, just without a lot of resources. Like you guys know from earlier films, we started painting sets and stuff. So, we just tried a lot of new stuff, but the main point really was we were just trying to have fun. And when you're having fun and you're passionate about your project, I think people can, sense that in your work. I do think people can tell when you're really enjoying yourself, and they can also tell when you're just doing it to do it and that you're not having fun. So, I don't know. I guess you just need to pick a project that you really enjoy, and then not worry much about views or, the audience or anything. Because I think, probably the biggest factor, aside from working really hard, was just, pure luck. Pure luck. I think, YouTube's recommendation system must have put our videos out where people could see them at the time, and the algorithm's always changing now, so I don't know what you have to do that on purpose, because it was certainly an accident for us. I think it was hard work, a huge dose of luck, I'm guessing. But you really need to focus, I think, on something you love that you would enjoy making even if nobody ever watched it, because otherwise it's not going to be an enjoyable experience. You gotta have fun for yourself first, and then, if an audience comes from that, it, kind of would come more naturally, I guess. Just, people who like the same stuff that you do and can tell that you really love what you're doing and that you're working hard. But yeah, I have no idea how to make a big YouTube channel on purpose, because it was all just kind of an accident.
The things really that need to go into it now is consistency. YouTube really favors people who can upload every day, which is it's pretty unfair actually in certain situations.
Yes, I think only Let's Players and vloggers can keep up with that. I certainly can't upload every day. The best I can do is, I guess I have, I've got a weekly stream I do, but, projects like animation stuff or, filmmaking, you can't really do that in just a day, and so YouTube is not, currently favoring this kind of work. But, again, when I started on YouTube, you couldn't even make money on YouTube or anything like that, so, it was never about, nobody was paying attention, I think, to algorithms, really. It was just, a bunch of us just being goofballs and having a good time. I never even heard of an algorithm until I came back from hiatus. I'm like, what's that? I knew what an algorithm was, but, that wasn't a thing 4 years ago when I was on YouTube. It wasn't something that anyone was really paying attention to, because, around the time I went on hiatus, the big thing was apparently YouTube cares about using copyrighted music now. They didn't yesterday. And then that's been the battle ever since.
It's consistency, and the other thing is, I guess, just the people that you work with, because a lot of fans came in after you started doing voices for Steve, or Bellino, yeah?
Some people did. I didn't really know who did, because most of the time people didn't mention it, but, I was doing voices for Steve since, really early on. I've been doing voices for him for, oh my gosh, it's been 8 years or something.
It was about, a year after the channel started or something?
Yeah, it was pretty early on, so it's been I've always been on Steve's channel over there, so
Yeah, so that definitely helped. So it's just what I was saying was just consistency and who you're able to get crossing over with and stuff. That generally helps YouTube channels get big.
Yeah, I do think for us it was just like, it was a lot of, it had to have been just a bunch of luck. Because, man, over the years I have seen some really amazing stuff done by people who have, like, no subscribers. Like, just for whatever reason, they're just not being seen, and I don't know why. I think a lot of it was an oversaturated market for some of the stuff I saw, like, making Sonic battle sprite videos were really, really popular at one point, and so consequently there was a lot of really good stuff that nobody ever saw just because so many people were doing it. It just didn't manage to stand out. Oops. Yeah. So I guess if you can find, like, whatever it is that you want to do, like if you want to do a Sonic and Mario combat sprite battle series, like if it's a really common topic like that, just find a way to make it stand out, I guess. I think for us it was just editing, probably. I think editing and using voices is really common now, but back in the day I think it was editing with like sound effects and music and like having the voice acting in there. It was like, I think that's why it felt different than other people who were doing the same thing.
Yeah, for like 2008, 2009, there was definitely like a uniqueness about having like voice actors in something like a plush adventure video, and in like Ask the Sonic Heroes started in 2010, and I don't think that there was a ton of like involved fan interaction things like that back then. So that also helped too. Like uniqueness is definitely very helpful in just your noticeability.
Yeah, just something that's a little bit different, because like Let's Plays. Those are pretty common nowadays. So if the thing you're passionate about is becoming like a Let's Player, then you just gotta find a way to, like, how do you make your Let's Plays unique to you, and then like run with it.
Just do what you feel is right in your heart.
You gotta believe. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is this? Okay, that is the layer that I wanted, though. I don't know what this is in reference to. What I saw when I glanced up from my drawing was Brusetta Martinez going, "Friendship!" Like, yes! I like friendship.
Friends to eternity.
Yeah! That real superpower of teamwork.
Fern the Fox asks, "Hey, SonicSong182, how do you make your drawing so smooth and great quality on PC or whatever you're working on? I love your art and video content."
Oh, thank you. I guess it's just practice. I draw on a drawing tablet, but I wasn't always good at it. It took me a while to learn how to draw on a tablet compared to drawing on like pencil and paper. Like, I'm not sure about where I might find one of my older tablet drawings, but it was hard at first. It took, like, practice, but, that's really it. Just practice, I guess, because I do draw a lot, because, just for, the series and for different projects and things, so it comes along. Where is that? Where's your hand? There it is. Wait, I didn't want his hand, I wanted his head. There it is. This is what happens when you don't label layers.
Oh, man.
I am better about labeling my layers when I'm not live streaming. It's just, it takes a while to do and it takes extra thought.
It's just like, when you're live streaming, I guess there's like, there's so much you gotta prepare for that maybe you, like, forget it. So, like, forget some things?
Sorry, what?
Like, if you're preparing for a live stream, that might be a little hectic. You think that might be, so much so that you might forget a thing or two in terms of the labeling?
Oh, I just don't label anything. What it is, if I know I'm sitting there and I'm about to spend 6 straight hours doing a piece of artwork that I'm gonna, like, really take my time on, then I would sit there and label the layers, but it takes thought, and I mentioned before I have a hard time multitasking, so I can't, like, talk and draw and label things. But, you know, and also it's not that fun to, like, have me stop every couple of minutes, type, like, well, seconds, actually, and then type a thing, and click on this, and type a thing. It's just not very interesting to watch, so I guess I get a little sloppy when I'm drawing in front of people. Also, Haley Cruz says, "Hey, hello, KN, how are you today?" I'm doing well. We've got about, I guess it looks like 5 minutes left on stream, and I am here with my buddy Skull902, who's the voice actor for Big the Cat, and I'll show off your channel again, like, at the very end. I like to do that. So go on.
Alrighty. Yes.
Alright, where am I? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was doing. You see, I have problems.
Yeah, it's like, multitasking, as she told me before all of this got started.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
It is helpful for me to have, like, a buddy with me, because I can't draw and think at the same time.
The first one of these, actually, in the stream, I'm kind of surprised, considering, like, who I am. But Box the Hedgehog says, Amy is best anime. She most certainly is.
Amy is best anime.
Amy is best anime.
Yes. I need to do...
By the way, people, that was all Nux, or KN, who came up with that line. I just came up with the answer that preceded that line. She's the genius behind Amy is best anime.
Well, it wouldn't be the same without your delivery, so it's the team effort. Amy is best anime. The way you sounded, like, the way I suggested it was more like a little peppier than that, and you just made him sound really, really sure of it and defensive.
I thought that's how you told me to do it.
No, that you just, I don't remember what I said exactly, but I don't believe that I said to make him sound, like, that convinced of it, and it just came, like, your very first, like, version of it was just perfect. I was like, yep, that's it. That's exactly it.
And then we had, what was it, Sylvain for Life, that you asked me to do in the same way?
No, that was, in the next one, it was, Sylvain for Life.
Oh, right, yeah, that's what it was.
That was your fault that Big wanted to ship her with Eggman, though.
Oh yeah, that was totally my idea. I'm not in the calls when the episodes are recorded, and so I had no idea that right before the answers were going to be given that Ames would have Amy say no shipping me with Eggman. So you know,
it just defiantly does it anyway. And I'm getting silvery fur going on in here. I'm gonna see if I can finish this one and then end the stream. So it shouldn't take too long because this one doesn't have like a background. So not like the other one didn't have like a complex background, but I did have to color the earth and stuff, so.
I wish I could see. I'm still stuck on Shadow of Maria looking out into space.
Really? Maybe try refreshing?
No, it's okay. I'm having fun looking at like I'll see it later when I'll watch the replay.
When you go in for the highlights.
Yeah, I might just do the highlights, or I might just do our amazing Team Rocket. I don't know, but I'll try to do something.
I think 2 hours is a long time to like listen and pick through, but I've done it before. I mean, the Maria Forces videos was a highlight of playing Sonic Forces in the stream.
Yeah, it's not really too terrible to like pick through, especially if you enjoy what you're looking at, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, casually just listening to it while you're like doing the dishes or something's pretty easy. I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything amazing at every moment on the stream itself. You know, you can just like glance in on it and see like, oh look, the art is coming along, and then go back to doing dishes and stuff. That's how I interact with like most YouTube media. The things that I am most likely to watch are things that I can just listen to, because usually I'm just so busy all the time, so like I listen to it while I'm doing other things.
as a contrast, I have like all the time in the world, so I watch YouTube videos typically that I just like watch. Sometimes I go on like music binges though when I'm really bored, and that's some good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I've got so much work all the time.
Yeah,
that
like,
does not include YouTube, by the way. That is this is extracurricular. This is so this is something completely separate from all of the work I do. I just do this on top of it. I try to make the time.
Yeah, like comparing the workload between what KN and I have is it's not even fair. She's so swamped and just like, I worry about your health, man.
It's all right. I do take naps to make sure that I'm rested, and I eat plenty of food, and I try to eat healthy food also. So I'm doing all right. I do wish that I had more free time though, because I could expand, I think, on the kinds of projects I can make. But unfortunately, I gotta make ends meet before everything else, and so, you know, I do not have a choice, but that's alright. I got a video out yesterday. The Christmas video is coming out well, so everything is coming along, so it is a-okay.
It helps that you're still young, too.
Still young!
Okay, Alliance with no regrets. We'll see you later. Says she's gotta go, so.
Bye!
I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
No, I was just shouting goodbye because you said goodbye to somebody.
Ah.
I think the chat exploded with shipping conversations.
Oh, they're definitely into it.
Oh boy.
SonicSong182, will you upload a video of behind the scenes of Ask the Sonic Hero someday? Asks Fela Moira. That's something I've been kind of like vouching for as like a documentary or something along those lines.
I've considered it before. I've even gathered clips. I've saved outtakes and stuff. Like, I would need to find a way to present it in an interesting way, because the process outside of the part where we're all like in the call and recording lines, that's pretty interesting, like up front, I guess. Unfortunately, everything else I think is supremely boring to look at. I uploaded a clip of me doing the video editing for the Thanksgiving episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes. It's just like 30 seconds of me drag and dropping images. It's like, it's really not very interesting. I mean, I think if I had the clip and I just explained what I was doing in a narration and then just moved on and only made you look at like 10 seconds of each step, probably it would be more interesting.
Yeah, if it was a tutorial style thing, like me and KN are fans of Stupid Mario Brothers, and they did like way long ago behind the scenes video, and the lead guy on the project, Richie, was showing how he edited the videos, and that was like one of the most interesting things I've ever seen.
Fun. I remember watching some of that too, like just watching how he'd like edit the lightsaber battles, and I know that was probably not interesting to watch him do like for 3 days on end.
Yeah, like, definitely not for that long, especially if he wasn't explaining how he was doing it, but, you know, he went in depth and said how he had to edit the lightsabers, like, frame by frame, and that was really cool.
That was really interesting.
Especially when I was, like, just, like, some teen who only had, like, Windows Movie Maker to work with on Windows XP, you know?
Yeah. I would like to do, like, a documentary-style Ask the Sonic Heroes thing. That's another thing, if I had more free time, would be easier to get to. Unfortunately, unfortunately, with my current time constraints, I think it's, like, the only thing that I do have, like... If I want to get an Ask the Sonic Heroes episode out each month, it's like I don't have time to do anything else but that. It's like, my scheduling is that tight, because, Ask the Sonic Heroes does take a very big chunk of time to edit, and there's like no wiggle room outside of that. I did manage to get that Star Wars video out. That was good, but oh my gosh, I did not get a whole lot of sleep last night getting that one out in time.
what we definitely need is like a 3-hour-long compilation video of behind-the-scenes SonicSong182, never before seen footage and audio that just goes around and just shows how the whole process is done.
Yay! Yes. But I will consider still doing that because I always wanted to anyway. It's just finding the time and the right time to do it is a little bit tough. I mean, like, our 10-year channel anniversary is coming up in June 2018. Like, if I can somehow get enough time, that would be fun to do as an anniversary video because we've never done, like, an anniversary video for any other milestones. But at the same time,
that would be the perfect time.
I do think that would be good timing, but then again, still, I have, like, I've got just a little bit of free time, and I do ask the Sonic Heroes with it.
Well, I mean, you know, if you want a little help.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. And the last thing that I saw
that's not you begging, that's me offering to help you out.
Sorry, what?
I said that's not you begging, that's me offering to help you out.
Well, thank you. I think that would be a tough thing to get help with because it's a lot of clip compilations of things I would need to film. But we'll have this segment where Big the Cat explains something really technical.
Oh man, that would be absolutely lovely. That would make up for the.
I have an idea. I'll just hand you the clip, and I'll like have you try to explain what you think is happening, but as Big.
Yes, please do that.
That'll be the tutorial part.
So the picture goes down here, and then the time, and we have the video track. I don't know what I'm saying.
This is the most boring thing I ever saw in my life. Here we go.
This isn't fishing.
What have I been persuaded into? Here we go.
Susie Kirby says you're doing a great job coloring Silver and Espio Can.
Thank you. As soon as I finish with them, we'll go ahead and end, because I know we're a little bit over time on the stream already, but I was so close to finishing the second piece that I wanted to try. And then I need to go clean the house. Yay! Fridays are, usually first thing in the morning, but I had a lot of other things I had to do as well. Usually first thing in the morning, it's a spruce day.
As per usual.
Yes.
Okay, I'm needing to do everything.
Yay! Yes. As is life. Have you been able to hear me with less glitches without the music? Has that
Yeah, it's definitely the music. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but the thing I sort of hypothesized about the microphone being picky about what it wants to have me hear.
Weird.
That's probably it.
Well, at least you can hear now.
Yeah, it's been a lot less jumpy.
That's rude.
Tree person asks, "Can Big dab?" Well, I mean, it all depends on if Big has the flexibility to. I imagine he could. He seems to have that kind of that kind of ability. It's not like he's so big that he's just like laying in bed all day and just wondering what he's done with his life. He could probably dab. That's something I imagine Nux would have to draw. You know what? There hasn't been a Big T-shirt yet. It definitely needs to be Big dabbing with Amy is Best Anime and just all the memes.
Oh no, just the meme shirt. Where am I? He's got yellow eyes, a yellow horn. Here we go. Almost got it. Oh, I'm coloring out of the lines now.
Oh no!
How dare I?
Toby Tots asks, SonicSong182, is Rouge afraid of spiders?
You know, I don't think, like, if it was just, like, a regular small spider running around, the kind that'll just bite you when you're minding your own business, I don't think she'd be scared of them, but I don't think she would like them a whole lot. Just, you know, I don't imagine them scaring her exactly. I feel.
Why do I get the feeling that Rouge would just think that spiders are like beneath her? These lowly creatures.
Oh, I think she'd be like, "This is my emerald. You leave it alone." Knuckles,
She's so paranoid
get
about like
this spider off of my emerald, and then she'd get in trouble for claiming the Master Emerald as her own.
Oh, yeah, definitely, like, she's still, like, paranoid about anything coming by to steal her jewels, that she'll, like, yell at bugs landing on it and stuff.
How did you get through my security system? Just Rouge and Kung Fu and the spider getting kicked in the air.
I love it.
Yes.
If I could actually animate Worth a Darn, I would try and do that.
Nice. Oh, wait, no, actually, that's correct. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Got a few people being afraid of spiders in the chat. It's okay. I mean, that's a totally normal thing.
Yeah, I guess I am not all that comfortable around spiders, depending on vicinity. If it's not close to me, I'm like, let's leave the spider alone. It's leading its own life, you know, it's eating the bugs. That's good, it's doing its job here. But if it's on me, all bets are off, man.
It definitely...
It's an instinct. I must fight for my life at that point.
It definitely, it's like, depends on the spiders. Like, some spiders can just be, like, really unsettling. Like, I've run into many a spider over my, like, time as a human being.
Oh.
That like, all their legs are different sizes, and I'm like, what happened to this spider? You know, that's really freaky. But, like, say a daddy long legs, like, they're harmless, and they won't try to attack you.
Yeah, they're nice spiders, so it's okay.
Yeah, so, like, they don't really go out of their way to attack, at least people, so it's not really, like, something to be scared of them. But say if you were, like, to run into, like, a black widow or a brown recluse spider, that would be very, very scary.
Yeah, I've seen some black widows before. I've lived in black widow crawl in your shoe territory. Meanwhile, I don't know of any specific spider types that do this, but the ones that jump can just leave.
And like the appropriately named jumping spider, they can be very surprising.
Oh no, I don't like those kinds of surprises.
It typically is the spiders that don't go on the ground. Those are the ones that kind of like jump.
Why are we talking about spiders?
Someone asked about spiders.
Toby, why did you do this?
We have to be respectful to the fans.
We just, like, went on to talk about all, like, the creepiest stuff. I'm like, okay, spiders can be uncomfortable to talk about in length. Thank you for your question, Toby.
Well, you know what? Spiders is just something, like, this stream has gone every which way, you know. So.
now we've gotten to the part where we talk about spiders at length.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, no. Oh, my eraser's working. That's good.
Oh, it corrected itself?
Yep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It does make getting work done a little complicated when my tools are not working as desired, but that's okay.
Alright, Fun John wants to know, Kan, what is your favorite Pokemon anime? And I'm going to presume that means, like, your favorite season of the show, or maybe something like, something that's separate from the show, like Pokemon Chronicles. Is like, what do you prefer in Pokemon anime?
I guess it would have to be the original one. I don't even know what that was called. Is it Johto League? Kanto League? Or, the first one where he first got his Pikachu and met Misty and Brock, because that's the only season of the show I've seen. I did not ever see any of the others.
If you're talking about the first season, that would be the Indigo League.
Indigo League. Oh, right, because Indigo Plateau, okay. Johto is the next one.
It was like Indigo and then Orange Islands for a little bit. That one seemed to be shorter than like the usual season, and then they went to Johto. It's like sort of the original Pokemon era, and that one was like, you know, that's sort of my know-how of the Pokemon anime, because everything after is just that's just when I fell out of the series.
Yeah, I'd say the first season, because it is the only one that I saw. Even though I played the Gold and Silver, Red and Blue generations, and I've played some that weren't, but in terms of the show, that's the only one that I did see. Woo, okay. This is a good thing, yes.
I can't see it, but it sounds like you're very happy right now.
Yeah, I just, oh my gosh, what have I done? Okay, I clicked off my line art layer, and that's what they look like. Oops. There we go.
I'll see it later.
Yes, you shall. There we go. Silver and...
Super Waffle Bros asks, do you have a favorite Paper Mario character? I can answer that, just off the top of my head thinking about it. I'd say, Chuck Quizmo from the first game, because, he's got a nice energy to him.
And I have never played Paper Mario. I'm sorry.
How dare!
Maybe Ames played Paper Mario? She's played more games than I have in general. I really haven't played that much. And okay.
I think it's a general rule that Ames is sort of like the gamer.
Yes, Ames is the gamer, and I'm like the animation and writing person. She also draws and she writes with me, but I think she's more known as a gamer, while I'm more known as, like, I don't know, like the movie making one.
The artiste.
The short one!
the one who knows martial arts.
Ames, yeah, that's true. I also train in martial arts, so I can battle despite my shortness. But Ames is only like an inch or two taller than me, so I guess I can't really shout too much. Toby Tots asked, have I saved recently? I'm not sure. I feel like I was pretty often, but I just hit Control S just in case. Amy Rose asked, who's your favorite Sonic character? Well, my favorite is Knuckles. I think my second favorite is Silver. And then Rouge and Blaze kind of occupy, like, third place. And then it gets kind of... It's hard to tell after that, because my next row of favorites is, like, Sonic and Shadow after that. And then, like, I don't know, I'm pretty fond of a lot of characters after that point. I have a massive soft spot, by the way, for Scratch from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. There was a time...
Scratch specifically?
Scratch specifically. Like, I think he is completed properly when Grounder is with him, so by extension, I like Grounder as well. But when I was a little munchkin, before, like, a lot of the Sonic characters were introduced, back when it was, like, the comic books and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and, like, that era, like, back in Genesis era, my top 3 favorite Sonic characters were Knuckles, Bunny Rabbit, and Scratch from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They were my top 3. I loved Scratch. He's hard to categorize now because he hasn't been in anything in so long, but I still have a supreme soft spot for that character.
That's rather interesting, because, like, it to me, like, Scratch has to be paired with Grounder. It's like Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers.
They come as a set. It would be weird to me if they didn't come together, but it was specifically Scratch, and I remember the episode of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog that kind of solidified that he was, like, my favorite in that whole show. It was that silly Edgar Eagle episode where he, like, Scratch and Grounder were competing with each other to find out, like, who could catch Sonic first. And Scratch, like, he crashed a little helicopter thing he was flying, and he ended up with a concussion and amnesia, and so he thought he was this Edgar Eagle hero guy, and so he was accidentally, like, teaming up with Sonic and doing, like, brave stuff, but he was still super incompetent about it. It was funny. It was interesting seeing him, like, in that situation. I specifically remember that's what made me like him especially. I did enjoy that Grounder was pretty confused by it at first. He's just like, because Dr. Robotnik didn't care in that episode whether they blew up Scratch. He's just like, oh, I'll rebuild him. But Grounder seemed pretty concerned about that concept at first. He's just like, oh, okay, that doesn't sound safe at all.
Not that I care.
Ha ha ha!
This is just a little sample of my Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik impression there.
I do not have an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik impression.
I wouldn't expect you to.
I am Dr. Ivo Robotnik. That's the best I got, man.
I'll give you points. You had very good form on the rolling of your arms.
Yes. Anyway, I just wanted to finish up with answering that question, but as you guys can see, we finished 2 of the sketches. I do think that the rest of these will be shown once the actual episode comes out, because I will not be in an area where I can have access to my computer when I get this video out, because I am doing some running around next Friday. I think I can still stream, but just I won't have my artwork computer with me. But yes, we finished 2 of the images. You guys got to see the sketch get cleaned up so they can be ready to go for the episode itself. Again, thank you so much for joining us for Friday stream. As usual, you guys are fantastic. Just before we go, I think I need to do some quick announcements and then one other quick run through here. If you guys are interested in checking out Skull901, oh my gosh, 902, I'm sorry, 90210, forgive me. If you want to check out
You have known me for 9 years.
I know, but also, I can't multitask. I can't talk and highlight things at the same time. But Skull90210 has his channel over here. Again, he's got some, there is some swearing in his videos and some edgier humor, so it's not, 100% as kid-friendly as the SonicSong182 channel is, but he's got some neat stuff in here. He works with sprites. He's doing some Let's Plays. So you got Sonic he's doing a Let's Play on Sonic hacks. But good stuff. He did a parody on Comcast with the net neutrality situation going on the other day. So good stuff. If you would like to visit Skull, this is the link to do Did you have something to add real quick, Skull?
Yeah, just just on the sensitive subjects, just proceed with caution if you don't think that you might be uncomfortable with like swearing or just like edgier humor. And just if you check out my channel, then I just hope that you enjoy what you see there.
Hurrah! All right. Aside from visiting Skull, if you would like to. Again, Ask the Sonic Heroes is in editing. It's coming along very well. I am aiming to have it out on the 22nd of December, but there are a lot of wild card elements that could throw it off, so that's not an official release date. That's just the day that I'm aiming for, so I can give you guys an idea. It's going to be a good episode. It's a little longer than usual, even though it is still a one-part episode. Let's see. If you guys haven't seen the silly Star Wars video that I made with the Sonic plushies, that's a pretty good one. You guys should go check it out. If anybody was going to go see if you were going to see The Force Awakens, even though that's out like a year ago, if you were going to go see The Last Jedi pretty soon, I hope you have a good time. I haven't seen it yet myself, so anybody who's here from the SonicSong182 server, no spoilers! Lots of people haven't seen it yet. It just came out like last night. I think yesterday for some places like Denmark, I heard. Let's see. I feel like there's probably something else I'm supposed to talk about in the meantime but I forgot, and also I suddenly spotted a big flaw in the coloring over here, so before we go, I am going to go ahead and fix it, because I didn't even see that before, and now I did. This is supposed to be blue. Here we go, yay! All right. There we go, all fixed, there we go. Okay, very good. Alright, well, again, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us here on the stream. Skull and I will say some goodbyes, and then we will wrap it up for today, since we have already gone, 25 minutes overtime. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. Last time I looked down, I was like, oh, 6 minutes? That's not bad.
No, we were having fun, though, and before we start the goodbyes, I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel during this live stream. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Alright, you ready?
Are we doing it in the voices again, or are we just going to do it as ourselves?
Do you have enough vocal energy to do it in character?
I suppose.
Alright, let's go for it. There's 104 of them. We can tackle this together.
Alright, I started it off last time, so...
Yeah, I'll start this time, and I'll do Blaze, I guess, because I did Rouge the last time.
Alrighty.
Hello, everyone. This is Blaze the Cat, and... Oh, what? It's already time to say goodbye? Well, goodness, I showed up late. Oh, well, alright then. Goodbye to Alana Towery, Alex the Wolf, Alley Cat 98, Amelia Rose. Oh, Blaze the Cat, goodbye. I have the same name. What a coincidence. Goodbye to Blue Magic, Box the Hedgehog, Briseida Martinez, and Cameron Melvin. Big, why don't you take the D's?
Well, okay. Wait, hold on, Big. I'm royalty after all. Don't you think it would be nice to let me do some? Oh, sorry, Froggy. Not Froggy.
Hello,
Go ahead.
Your Highness.
Yes, so, let's get on with a few of these. Goodbye to Darren Hedgehog, Dorami's Melody, Excellent Boy, Elemental God Anthony J. Infinity, Ethan Midbow, Evil Shadow, F Warrior, Phala Moira, and Fun John.
All right, thank you. Next, goodbye to I Am the Lego Man 1025, Jake the God of Light Christmas Edition, Jason 366 Guerrero, Jessica the Raccoon, Joan Umpierre, Jordan Cooler, Jose Salas, Jun Kun, hello June, Keely the Hedgehog, Kennedy K. Josness, KH Shadow, and you can continue with the L's.
Alright, Big, you can do this again. Thank you. Alright, goodbye Lumish Piggy Gal, Lux Star, MK Hadan, Maito Brito, Michelle Valentine, Miku Hatsune, Miles Tails Prower, Miss Player 30, PC Schnoon, Peridot, Phantom 7620, and Plushy Child.
Goodbye to Quilava 345, another fire user, I appreciate that. Royal Phoenix, another fire-related name, as a phoenix is a bird of the flame, also appreciated. Goodbye to Sassy BG, Scott Conlon, Sonic 1991, Sparrow the Fox 30 Years Later Pro, Super JD 64, Susie Kirby, and Big, you can take it away.
Okie dokie. Tasty ramen. I like ramen. Tech Swift, Toby Tots, Tree Person, Video Game Fan, Ouija Prower, XX Kitten X, XX Oblivion Phantom XX, and YoHeat66. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on SonicSong182.
Bye, guys. We're gonna jump out right now. Have a good rest of your Friday, everybody.
Alrighty, see you in another 58 weeks.
Yay! Bye!
Bye-bye.